The journey we're taking is the journey within you. Everybody has their own story and their own journey to share. Every journey conceals another journey within its lines, the past not taken and the forgotten angle. The journey within you, where you will listen to stories from others sharing their triumphs and struggles that led them to where they are today.
Okay.
Hey, welcome to The Journey Within You. I am so excited and just blessed to have my sweet cousin, Tim's cousin, um, Peggy Lister. And Peggy, you're just a light, and I have loved watching you through your missionary work and your journey that you have been on. So, would you please just share your journey with us?
Thank you, Laura, so much for having me on. This is a real honor to get to share with you and your audience. Um, I'll start by just saying I'm a country girl. We have always lived in the country. I was raised in the country,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad farmed, and mom and our whole summers were uh, made up of putting things in the freezer and canning and everything. So I am a country girl. But this country girl doesn't like country music, so
Uh-oh.
that's one thing.
That's odd.
Yes, I'm sure it is, but contemporary Christian is my music,
Oh, yes.
to the heart.
Mm-hmm.
We had a great growing up just as kids. I have an older sister and two younger brothers, and um, life was good, and
Mm.
we all were raised in school, and then off our ways. And my two brothers still live in Paulding County, but my sister lives in North Carolina.
Oh.
That both of our parents are gone. Dad died at an early age of 63,
Mm-hmm.
and mom died just several years ago in 2015 from Alzheimer's.
Mm.
So I am no young chicken, if you can want to figure my age. I turned 74 in October, but
Awesome.
I am I am still very healthy and still got a lot of things that are on my bucket list to do for life.
Mm.
Um, uh, Not going to talk a whole lot about my nearly 56 years of marriage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My husband, Don, transitioned to his eternal home in June of this year, June the 2nd to be
Mm-hmm.
exact. But we had 55 and a half years of marriage, some good, some better, and some
Mm-hmm.
rough.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think if you stay together that long, he was a childhood sweetheart, and I mean a high school sweetheart.
Oh,
And we had a long life. We
you had a
have
lot to
two sons.
experience. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, we experienced a whole lot.
Mm.
And we have two sons. I have two wonderful daughter-in-laws.
Mm.
Our first grandchild was a girl, and then we had four grandsons pretty rapidly.
Oh,
Two,
grew fast.
our youngest son has three sons, and then Derek, the oldest son, he gave us the granddaughter and a grandson.
Oh.
And this past uh, year, um, we in September we got a great granddaughter.
Oh my
Our
goodness.
Yes, a great granddaughter. Her name is Charlie Jade, and
Oh.
she was born to Kayla, our
Mm-hmm.
granddaughter,
Mm-hmm.
and she has an older brother, Colton, and he turned 4 April the 17th.
Oh my goodness.
So we were truly, truly blessed. Dawn was hoping to be around when Charlie Jade was born, but the Lord saw fit to take him home earlier.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but I've had a long, rich life. And like I said, I've still got a lot more that I want to do. Laura mentioned at the beginning, I am a missionary, a short term missionary.
Mm-hmm.
My church, Little Methodist Church, back in the latter 70s, began missionary work in Mexico.
Oh.
And that is when God stole my heart with missions.
Serving.
Since
Mm.
then, since then, I continued work in Mexico for quite a few years. But then the Lord began to open different doors, and I have been honored and to travel to many, many places over the last several years, doing pastors' conferences, uh, teaching women,
Mm.
children, even some building projects. I in 2010, I became ordained, and so basically, my ministry is missionary. I have a bachelor's degree in biblical Christian counseling,
Oh, awesome.
and um, so that keeps me pretty busy when I'm at home.
I
I
think I
do
rem
I do a
I
mhm.
I think I remember you guys also being very involved with the young couples.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
That was a real passion. Don and I uh, led and taught young couples basically right after our boys got married.
Mm-hmm.
And then several of their friends, we would meet here at the home, and I'd create a teaching, and I'd cook them a meal.
Oh.
And we didn't have really any children
Mm-hmm.
at that time. So, I mean, they didn't have children, so we didn't need a babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
But over the years, Donna and I had several. The first couple group was not through our church, Westridge,
Right.
but even after we went to Westridge, Donna and I worked with young couples for several years, and that's a real passion to me.
Yes, yes.
Family, family ministry in young couples, especially. And I know I may be 74, but I don't really have any old folks that are friends.
Right, right. You
Honestly,
relate to the younger. You're right. And that's
yeah,
okay because they look up to you and they look to you for your wisdom and guidance, and that's just a passion
well,
and prayer for them.
yes, and that's been a real passion for Donna and I, was for us for over the years. I don't do any specific young couples ministry right now. I am doing some counseling
Mhm.
with a few adults, but and we've done also ministry to a to couples that have been married, crisis couples,
Mm.
uh, in marriage,
Right.
and I'm real thankful. I think our percentage
Yeah.
of 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 saving marriages, we lost maybe two
Right,
over all
right.
these years. They were not able to reconcile, but
Oh.
it was a real privilege to be able to minister.
Mhm.
Like I said, Don and I have went through a lot over the years, and I think there's a lot of wisdom when you have a testimony of nearly 56
Oh,
years
definitely. Yeah,
when you've
you've
gone through.
experienced something that they're gonna experience or have, will. Um,
That's right.
and now especially it's so much harder on couples getting started in this world and so many things pulling at them. So if they don't have any guidance or someone they can be encouraged by, it's hard out there by yourself.
Yes, it is. And I have been honored also to marry two couples that
Oh.
are in second marriages,
Mhm.
and both of those couples are still dear friends of mine. And actually, one of the wives is heading over to my house this evening to spend the night. We have a team we're going to be working on in March,
Uh-huh.
and she's coming over to spend the night with me tonight. So I'm looking forward to having her
That'll be
company.
great company. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
What ab-
over the years, mhm,
I was going to say, yeah, what about over your years? I remember your newsletter that you had that came out. Do you still do that?
yes, I do still have a newsletter, and I sort of I had gotten way up over my account listing, so I did
Mm,
purge my newsletter. A lot of people say they want it, but then I have so many, that wouldn't open it. So I did do some purging on mine,
right,
and
right.
I can't remember, Laura, whether you're still on
I
there or
don't think
not.
I am, so I need to be added back because I always enjoyed reading that. And what was the name of your ministry?
My name of my ministry is Spreading His Fragrance Near and Far, Inc. It is a nonprofit organization, federally organ,
All the
organized.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And yes, and if anybody would like, I have a Facebook page. Now, I did have a website for
Mhm.
many years,
Mhm.
but I have found that the Facebook page drew me a lot more attention than my um, even my website.
Yeah, it's
More
easy to
people
go
are
to. More people are drawn to it. I've noticed that too. It's just so much easier to, oh, I'm on Facebook. Now I can check in on this group that I love and this person I follow. And yeah, that's a good place to be.
That's right. That's right. And over the years, I feel like in all of my mission work, God led me. I was sitting in a little dung mud hut
Hmm.
in Kenya among the Maasai when the Lord spoke to me about writing a book.
Ah,
And being that basketball was my best subject in school, not English,
right.
I
Same for
I
me.
really I'm sort of like Sarah in the Bible. I laughed
Yeah.
because I said, Lord, you got to be kidding me. But it took me several years, six to be exact, to get a book in print. And last October, my book came went to the printers, and the that's been one of the biggest accomplishments I feel
Mm.
like God has led me through and to. And the book is about everyone that loves Jesus has a calling on their life.
Mm. That's so
And
true.
it is a book that in the front and in the back, I talk about different things, but through there is about 40 or so devotionals in there, and they cover things that happen to me before a trip, after a trip, on a trip.
Mm.
And also there are several personal testimonies in there about people that acquaintances of mine
Mhm.
that made trips with me or I met on the trip or whatever. So I have several personal testimonies in there, but I feel like that was an accomplishment that God allowed me to do that I'm telling you,
You had
totally.
no idea you were ever going to write a book.
You,
That was,
you,
yeah.
oh, that is an understatement for
Mhm.
sure. But it is, and it's his book. It's his
Mm.
book, and that's a lot of my testimony in that book, and a lot of my before and after, and even a little bit about Don and his
Mhm.
illness and
Mhm.
stuff. So, but
How
that's a
how
great.
do you can how can you get the book? Where is it available?
Well, it is, it's everywhere. It's on Amazon. It is Kindle. It is, if you just Google, and the title of it is Saying Yes to Your Calling. Saying Yes to Your Calling and living your life on mission for Jesus Christ. And there is a W in my name when you look for it. It's Peggy W.
Okay.
Lester. But
Okay.
you can find it anywhere, I think. So my publisher says.
Okay.
So
Okay. Well, I'll put that on there so they know how to find that.
yeah,
Those that listen and want to get, because devotional books are awesome to have.
yes.
I'll have to get
Hmm.
my copy. That's great.
Yeah, yeah. The I guess the one other major thing and that really consumes my attention right now is the fact that I've had several friends lose their husbands over the last several years,
Mm-hmm.
and um, they were not prepared. They were
Mm.
not prepared for his death. Now, a lots of times you can't prepare.
No, but I know
You know,
what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But Don and I had 5.5 years to prepare. We knew the cancer would take his life.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had 5.5 years. And most of those years, I'd say up until the last 6 months, were healthy and viable
Mm-hmm.
years to
Mm-hmm.
where we were able to enjoy ourselves and travel and do things that we wanted to get done. And but we made preparation. We made preparation. Don was so organized. He
Mm-hmm.
took such good care of me, and he was so organized. He had a little binder that he had all of our financial stuff in, who to contact, his passwords, his contact information, all of those things he had in that notebook.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And therefore, when he did pass, all I had to do was, and he um, taught me about the checking account and all. He always did our financial
Right.
stuff,
I'm in
our
that
home
same
financial.
situation. He does
Hmm.
all our home financing, and so it's the
Yeah.
same thing. You know he's doing it, and you know parts of it, but you don't know, you know.
Yes, that's right. And
Yeah.
I had my personal and my ministry to take
Right.
care of. So
Right.
Don did all of that. So over those 5.5 years, we talked about the mission, our finances. He showed me he did bills, he did all of that. And I was prepared. I was
Mm.
prepared
Mm.
financially and wisdom wise,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for his passing. Now, that didn't help the emotional
No,
at
no,
all.
but that helped you
But
be able to be emotional in parts that you weren't having
right.
to stress over the other. So,
So right. Yeah, so very right. And I think about my mom losing two husbands,
mm-hmm.
um, uh, and her having to do that by herself.
Mm.
And I don't think she was anywhere near as prepared as I was. And I think back, and that just makes me sad for
Mm-hmm.
her,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't ask for my help, but that's something that's on my heart for people. I've just been contacted through a mutual friend for a sweet gal that lost her husband at
Mm.
49
Mm.
from a
Too
heart
young.
attack just very quickly. And I just think about what she's going through, with
Mm-hmm.
children and just you're just such in a fog for the first 3 or 4 months.
Right. Can't
You
even
you
think
can
straight.
hardly you can't even hardly function,
Mm-mm.
much less do the things that you need to do to get the ball rolling,
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
taking care of yourself. But
Mm-hmm.
I've got two great sons, and they helped me and they gave me advice, and I had talked with them, even Dawn and I had talked with them about our situation financially
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and the to-do stuff and our wills and all of that. So we had talked, with the boys about all of that. So they were brought into it, and um, but that is something on my heart that I really, really uh, would like women and men to
You're
think
right. To
about.
be
You
prepared
know,
for. I mean, that's
it to
something you probably could show and, develop a binder that
oh
would
yeah,
show these are the things you're going to want in this binder, because there's
right.
so many things you don't think about. I mean, keeping a household is a lot, and we all have our part in how we keep our household. But, when one's gone, you're like, okay, now what did they do? I don't even know where to start what they did. So yeah,
That's true.
it's vital. I mean, I believe in that. I've told Tim many times. I said, now as we age, there's new things that I need to know more about. So be sure you're putting that down somewhere. I
Yeah,
think a lot of people are so afraid to discuss those things because it means something about final, or living alone,
yeah.
and they don't want to face that. So they just keep living like, oh, everything's fine. I can do it. I'll remember. You're not going to remember. It's not
No,
going to be in your memory bank when that time hits because you're not like you said, you're in a fog. You can't. I mean, I remember my dad. He's like, when mom passed away, he's like, I need 2 weeks just to be alone. No calls. Don't bother me. I'll be fine. And I said, okay. I was a little nervous about that, but he needed that time. He needed some time to just be, and And then he was able to start doing the things that he had to do and pushed in to do, because there's a lot when someone passes away that you just have to do about dealing with them and their passing. And you're not still not taking care totally of yourself. So, yeah, I remember
That
that.
that is so true. And every day I come across something. And of course I, sort of talk to Don, talk to myself, and
Yeah,
talk to
yeah,
the Lord all
yeah.
the time. And
I
I'm
can
thinking,
imagine.
okay, how do I handle this?
Mm-hmm.
I had a little leak under my sink, and I'm going, okay, what do I do about this? Of course,
Mm-hmm.
Derek got to fix that for me, but it's just out in the yard, blowing the
Mm-hmm.
driveway. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there's so many things that
Well, Tim is my fixer. I mean, he puts
yeah,
on all the hats and he fixes everything. We rarely have to call someone. I mean, it's got to be really out of, his realm, but he
yeah.
will tackle it first. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm not that person. I won't be able to be the fixer. I can do some things, but I'll be the one calling people. You got to come fix
That's right.
this.
Yeah, that's right. And I've got two great sons. I've got
Yeah,
two great sons, and if they don't know how to do it, they got YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh. How do we live without that today? YouTube for
I'm telling you,
everything. I mean, we pull it up all the time to use when we need to fix something that's,
yeah,
that we haven't ever had to do before. And it's
yeah,
there. You'll find it. Somebody's
yeah,
had to do it before. And that's
yeah.
pretty cool to have that resource. That's a good resource to have. But
It is.
what is your main focus now that you're finding your new way in your journey? What are some things that you're focusing on more?
Well, I tell you right now, I'm really focusing with the Lord to find the new me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a we
Mm,
anymore, and
mm-hmm.
but my passion of mission work is still extremely. I'm planning for a women's retreat down in Jamaica in March. So
Oh, awesome.
that's on my agenda. Looking forward to that. And if all works out like I'm thinking it's probably going to, I'm going to be going to Guatemala
Oh,
in
wow.
the end of April. And that's a sort of a little prayer project at the moment, but I
Mm-hmm.
really
Mm-hmm.
don't see any reason that I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm just waiting for confirmation from the Lord on that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I've got there's several trips, some through Westridge, and then several that are on my back burner for later in the
In
year.
the year.
And so that's mainly my thing. I think I probably sort of got another. I don't want to even sort of verbalize this, but I feel like I might need to. Got maybe another book rolling around in my head.
Oh, I love it.
Um,
Yeah.
but I'm going, Lord, I'm 74. It took
Hey,
me 6 years to get the other one.
but
in,
now your feet are wet. You've done it before, so now it won't take you as long because you're
that's right.
not, you know what to expect and how to, that kind
Yeah,
of thing. So that will help.
that
That'll be
that's
great.
true.
And you're doing something
Yeah.
with the schools too, aren't you? You were telling
Oh
me.
my goodness. Oh my gosh. Yes, that is something that has been so exciting. Like I said earlier, maybe basketball was my favorite and best subject in school.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the chairman of Fellowship of Christian Athletes for Paulding County helped me so much. He was a prayer partner of Don's at
Oh,
church, and um, uh, he did the music and helped with the music and all for Dawn's celebration.
right.
And so several weeks after, well, last fall, he called me and said, Peggy, you're just right down from Hiram High School. He said, and I graduated from Hiram School, not the one that's there
Not the one
now,
now,
but the
yeah.
old one. He said, you're just right down from there. And he said, I know you love basketball. Would you consider being a mentor to
Oh.
the basketball coach at Hiram High School? And I said, wow. I said, woo. And so
Mm-hmm.
we talked a little bit about it, and I told him I'd pray about it. and I did, and then I felt like that was something that the Lord was leading me to do, and
Mm.
it's been so exciting. I drove to Alabama 2 times last week, just to watch them play in a
Aw,
tournament.
how
Off with
fun.
They won the
Oh,
tournament.
great.
That Yes, they actually have won several regional seasons,
Mm-hmm.
and I went and sat down with the coach and talked with her for a while, and we just had a good conversation. So they're playing tonight a regional game, but it's like a no in Calhoun or
Mm.
somewhere pretty long, too
Mm-hmm.
long for me. I drove to Alabama. That was a little over an hour, but this is going to be through traffic
Yeah,
and all. And so I won't be making that game tonight because I do have that early team meeting tomorrow anyway.
right.
But so I spoke with the girls a few minutes after Christmas and sort of gave just a short little introduction of who I was and who I am. And I just love these girls already. Haven't had a whole lot of personal connection with them. A little bit more with the
Right,
head
right.
coach,
Mm-hmm.
but so that's just something. I told him when I introduced myself. Well, the head coach, she introduced me first, and
Mm-hmm.
then when I spoke up, I said, "Well, I guess y'all wonder why this old lady with white hair has started appearing at your ball games."
Yeah, who
And
is she?
so I told him, about having graduated from Hiram and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
my best subject being basketball and stuff, and they just laughed. But that's something that I really feel if we've got to invest. We've
And our
got to
young
invest
people.
in the
Oh,
generations coming
yes.
up. They are so confused, and
Mm-hmm.
so many of them don't have the home upbringing to introduce them to the Lord and to be stable in our culture
Right.
needs so desperately adults that will invest in our youth. And so
Right.
I'm just honored. I'm just honored to be working under Fellowship of Christian Athletes. It's a
And
great, great
that gives you
program.
such a connection with your community again too. Like you said, with the age, bracket, this is great. Getting in, you get to meet parents even and getting to know even more people. So that's a
Yes, yes.
blessing. Blessing,
Yes,
blessing.
yes, yes. All of my grandkids are now millennials, pushing the age of 30. Some of them are,
Yep.
and so so
They got busy
uh,
lives.
yeah, yeah. I've
Mm-hmm.
got two of them are married. The oldest two are married, and
Mm-mm.
so then I got three millennial boys
Yep.
still that
Yep.
two good-looking boys, I might say.
Mm-hmm.
And but so I really feel like the fellowship, the FCA thing is a real. When left, I went to a ball game uh, Tuesday night,
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday night, and I stayed and watched the boys play till halftime, watching the boys play too. And so when I got up to leave, a lot of the girls, "Bye, Miss Peggy, bye, Miss
Aw.
Peggy."
That's
So
so, so good.
yeah, yeah.
So
It's
many
just
so
been
many
a real
times
blessing.
these girls are just these young people are looking for a connection themselves. They feel alone, like you said, they don't always come from good home lives, or they're struggling just to be a
Yep.
teenager. And so to
Right,
have
right.
someone that takes time with them, it's a beautiful connection. I just
Yeah,
know it
yeah,
is. So
yeah.
I know they will appreciate getting to know you.
Yeah. It's been a real blessing for me. Real blessing for me.
Well,
So,
Peggy,
uh,
I appreciate you so much. I'm gonna put the name of your book in the description, and that way, with a couple places where they probably can search and find it. Um, we will be praying for you and your year to come, and on your trips. And I know there's ways too that we can donate to that to help with financing on your trips. So maybe I can get that with your link to your website, not website. I'll put the Facebook connection where they can
yes,
keep track
yes,
and keep watch of where all you'll be heading. But again, I just love you, and I'm so thankful that you said yes to come on. Um, and we'll be posting it soon.
And my book also has a Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, I think I have have several fa for fa Facebook pages, but they are listed on my peg. But now my Facebook page has my name Walton in there.
Okay.
So the Facebook page is Peggy Walton Lester.
Okay.
So if they want to hunt me and find me, or the book, either one. So I do have several pages,
Okay.
Facebook pages.
Awesome.
But
So we should be able to connect in one way or another then.
yes, yeah, I'm pretty easy. And actually, if you Google me, I come up.
Oh, awesome.
So,
Awesome. Okay.
but But thank you so much, Laura. You're such a blessing. I
Oh,
miss getting to see you
I
and Tim
know. I
very
know.
often.
Yeah, we miss that.
But thank you so much
Oh,
for thinking of me,
of
and
course.
hopefully your audience was
They'll
um,
be blessed.
intrigued,
They'll be blessed.
intrigued if nothing else. Thank
Interest.
you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.